The people who were born again and they had this encounter, this is turning point, like I said in my first video. It's a turning point that you cannot simply miss. It's just something like a woman giving a birth to a child. Like, she can never escape, she can never forget it, and she can never miss that. So she knows exactly that event occurred. So if you have that event in your life, if you had that turning point when you know that was me being born again, and then at some point in your life you carry on with your life and you just feel like, I don't feel the sense of the Holy Spirit anymore, I don't have that feeling anymore. And when I asked God this question, I said, how that's possible the Holy Spirit can leave us? Is it just like a temporarily a thing that just happens to us once in a while? And God told me, there's no way I can leave you. If you were born again of the Spirit, the Holy Spirit comes and dwells in you. So, but what happens, he said, when you fall in love with someone, you feel this enormous amount of butterflies, excitement. This is the event again that no one can, forget. And people know when they fall in love. They know it. Like, you don't need to description. You don't need to look and ask Google for it. Like, there's something is going on. And the same thing. And then what happens? When you get married with the same person, and then you don't get the same feeling anymore. Why? Because you're so used to the presence of that person in your life. The same thing with the Holy Spirit. When you're being born again, you have that event that transforms your life, something that just, it was beyond that your mind can understand, and then suddenly it just wears off. It's the same thing like with the person who you fall in love with. And remember, Jesus was saying, remember your first love. It doesn't mean that Holy Spirit abandoned you. It doesn't mean Holy Spirit left you. It's just you get used to the presence of the Holy Spirit in your life. So what do you need to do? Every time, like in your relationship with your spouse or with your partner, when you feel like you're losing that momentum, you're losing that feeling of being connected again, you come back, you reconnect, you pour, you give the attention. And that's why Bible say, seek, knock, ask, long for this relationship, and you will see the first love never goes away, but it matures, it grows into something more deeper, into more something meaningful. In a real relationship, we see a lot of people, they in an earthly relationship, when people fall in love, they're so excited, they're full of energy, and then suddenly they feel like something is missing. I don't feel connection to that person anymore. And a lot of people start to give up. A lot of people start to think, oh, God abandoned me, or this relationship is ended. And the same thing with the Holy Spirit. You being born again, you feel you're filled with the Holy Spirit, you feel moved, you feel inspiration, you feel like you want to do something. And then slowly, gradually, you feel like it just wears off. And this is when a lot of people, a lot of believers start to give up and thinking, oh, maybe I did something wrong, and maybe I offended the Holy Spirit and he left me. But I'm here to tell you, God told me, my first love, remember my first love. But he will never, the Holy Spirit, if you were born again of the Holy Spirit will never leave you. But your mind will get used to his presence. So what do you need to do? You need to cultivate, you need to search, look, and seek for that attention intentionally. The same thing you would do in your regular relationship when you feel your relationship with the spouse are wearing off. And instead of getting divorced or cheating on your husband, if you just pour that attention on your spouse and say, hey, I want to reconnect again. I remember that feeling. It was so real and I don't want to give it up. And I know it's still there, even because I'm so used to your presence in my life, but I still cherish it. And the more you're going to pour that intention to your spouse, the more your relationship is going to flourish. And it's not going to be as your first love, but they're going to go on the next level. They're going to mature. The same thing with the Holy Spirit. When you start to feel like, I don't feel the presence of the Holy Spirit like I used to, it just simply means you're so used to this presence in your life. So what you need to do, instead of cheating, going to reading other books, going asking people what's going on with me, go back, reconnect, just like you would do with a regular person here, the person that you in love once was in love. Same thing with the Holy Spirit. He's alive. He's a living. So we have to treat him as a living being. So he longs for your attention. Dedicate more time. If you feel like you didn't hear or didn't get any revelation, be intentional. Set up a time for a Holy Spirit, just you and him. Just you and him, maybe not even a Bible, just you and him and Holy Spirit. Just, go to a coffee shop, go somewhere private, talk to him, tell him how you feel. Like, I really long for your attention. I really want to restore this. Let's make it work. And you'll see, the more you'll be intentional, the more Holy Spirit is going to mature your relationship to a next level. And you remember this, the Holy Spirit never leaves you or abandons you. You getting used to his presence of your life.